Hey guys, it's Zach, your baby cinephile, and when I saw the trailers for this movie in the theaters, I got excited once I started picking up what they were putting down, especially with this chilling voiceover.
What's it like?
What's what like?
I never had anybody die.
Scary.
Story of a family haunted, but from the POV of the ghost sounded exciting. Similar to last year's In a Violent Nature, which was a slasher from the killer's POV, I was hungry for a fresh perspective in this crowded genre. And I know, like me, many people who saw this trailer and were excited to see this movie were expecting a horror film, a ghost haunting, which we get like 30 of these kind of movies every single year, but told from a fresh perspective with one of the best directors doing it. But with this review, I'm here to temper your expectations.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
Because Presence is not a horror film. It's not a horror film in the traditional sense. It's more of a supernatural drama. This family moves into a newly renovated house hoping to start fresh. All their connections are fractured in some way. The son is an asshole who thinks he's better than everyone else in the family. The mom is sketchy with a lot of legal problems. The father's depressed trying to keep everyone together, and the daughter, who is reeling from a tragic loss, is feeling disconnected from everyone. We see this entity kind of observe and watch this family throughout the film as their problems and traumas and everything that they're going through starts to unpack and reveal the things that's going and all the interconnections that the family have that's kind of broken. And the movie keeps you like in a mystery of like, who's this ghost? Is this someone that used to live in this house and died and now this new family's coming on their turf? Is this someone that they know and is trying to warn them about something or trying to reconnect with them? And because the daughter went through a tragic loss. Or is it something more sinister? Because we see this presence kind of interfere with their lives when they're at home. And with this interesting point of view and gimmick that they're using with this film, the movie touches on a bunch of different themes, like a fractured family, the toll that grief and trauma takes on oneself, and how do you get through that. And I love how the ghost or the presence kind of is always that ever feeling depression or sadness is always there when they're going through their toughest moments, because the movie is a bunch of one takes of this presence following the characters around, and we're only seeing it from their POV moments, and like the moments will cut from one moment to another and things will change, but if they leave the house, this presence doesn't know what's going on. So it's a very interesting way to kind of show patches of time in the film, and I think it did a really good job of making the film not feel like it's just dragging in certain points. What this also does is give the haunting house, ghost haunting people a fresh perspective. This may not be a traditional horror movie or a horror movie at all, really, but the haunting aspect, I think it does a really good job of not only using the ghost presence to kind of spy on this family as they're going through their drama, but put the audience right into the POV so you feel like you're right in the room with them.
Always an accident.
What do you mean, not an accident? Who is this guy singing?
And who am I? A conspiracy fly. Did you know NASA means deceive in Hebrew?
I did not.
Steven Soderbergh directed the cinematography and edited this film, and he did all three of those aspects with a sure hand. The movie looks good, it's paced really well. I really appreciate the fact that they didn't waste our time in this film with this experimental thing that's going on. The movie is 83 minutes and it flies by, and is directed really well with some really strong camera movements as the ghost feels like it's floating through the house. And this is a movie that could easily gone off the rails in someone else's hands. It's very experimental. They could have tried to do crazy things or not really make it grounded, but they did a really good job of grounding this story in tangible things that the audience can feel and expect to like relate to. Everybody can kind of relate to that family dynamic, even if your family's not fully like this. And I really appreciated that the ghost aspect of it was a part of the mystery, because the presence of this ghost was part of some of the problems that they were having as well. And I like that each character had their own goals and problems that you were following around, and some of it was conflicting with the livelihoods of each other in the same house. So it created some very intense drama. The movie is creepy and it does have some horror flickers in it, but I think that's just because it's a ghost and it's like haunting people that you feel that, but I don't think the movie's scary necessarily. The screenplay supplies enough mystery and what the hell moments to keep you engaged for the ride, because the movie takes long to build up to what it's going towards to, but the finale, the last 10-15 minutes of the movie, made my jaw drop because I did not expect where they were going with the film. But after thinking about it, I was like, you know what? They left the clues there for me to figure it out. I just didn't get it. It felt like the movie could have went so many different ways, and it went a completely different way. It swerved on me heavily and escalated very quickly.
That escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
The only place that this movie falters, honestly, is in its script. Writer David Koepp, who's worked with Steven Soderbergh in other films, just doesn't do a good job of writing dialogue. Sometimes it felt like a natural conversation with characters talking to each other and over each other, because in real life people talk over each other. They don't wait for the other person to finish their point, especially if they're getting into an argument. And a lot of that felt natural, and I liked it a lot, even though some of the dialogue was still kind of really basic. I liked that it felt natural and made me get engaged with the family. But then other sections of the film felt more like a play. And it's not because of the way the camera was set up or the set was set up, it was because the way the dialogue was set up to talk, where they weren't talking over each other and people were kind of doing these monologues that I feel like didn't fully work, and it made the conversations feel route. So sometimes you're connecting with the family, and other moments where there's these high tension, high emotional arguments, the way it's positioned kind of took me out personally. I don't know, drop in the comments down below if you saw the film and you feel the same way, where it kind of took me out of the scene a little bit because it felt like it was shifting into a kind of different tone that the movie didn't intend. When it comes to audiences, if you as a viewer and me and other people watching this film, I think this movie is going to end up being divisive because of the way the dialogue comes off. I think that between that and the expectations the trailer sets, this trailer does not really represent what the movie is. The trailer makes it seem like it's a horror film when it's really just a supernatural drama, and I appreciate what the movie executed. I think the concept is really, really fun. I think the execution was really, really solid, and I really like that this movie didn't try to drag everything out. I appreciate this movie and its existence more than I love it, but it's something that I do feel like I could rewatch to kind of catch those clues again and see that jaw-dropping ending. So with that said, I'm going to give The Presence a C+. Question of the day is, what is your favorite ghost haunting movie? Drop your comments down below and let me know. And you can watch more content right now.